evening. It's May 2nd, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen. Hey, asshole, what separates our show from other Millennial news podcasts?
That we have a boomer when he is bad, we spray him with a water bottle.
Good job. No, I was proud of you for that. We do have a boomer, and not just any boomer, Mr. Boomer Rex himself.
Good evening.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm learning that's 3 unique perspectives we share along with the facts from our little round table. Hope you enjoyed the couple days off from hearing us shout at you, and hope you had an amazing weekend.
Absolutely.
So now, let's dig into...
An asshole shot me with the cat lecturer.
Yeah, no, it's so funny.
Don't need lecturing.
So we got this bottle to fill with water, and
Like
I was
you
like,
do.
we have to be extra careful that there's just water in this. How are we going to label this bottle to make sure that we never
Okay.
put anything else in it so we don't hurt the cats? And so it says water only, cat god, CCD, cat corrections department, water only. So
All right.
that's how we know it's safe to spray the cats with it.
And we know it worked.
Oh yeah, no,
They are.
it's why they don't jump up on the
Mm-hmm.
place
TV.
that we have the cat
Yeah.
the TV anymore. Jesus fuck, I can talk. All right, let's dig right into our headlines. Artillery shell souvenir. What?
Oh, shit.
Right. So you're an American vacationing in Israel, and you find an unexploded round. And so you take that
Whoa.
home as a souvenir,
Not...
Tried to take that home.
This isn't...
and you show up in the airport with it.
Yeah, but we're not talking scatterable submunition. We're not talking the little silk nonsense on the bauble. We're not... Like a fucking shell.
Yeah. This looked to be about a
How old is this
100
person?
millimeters.
How
What?
old is the person?
I don't know. I had the same reaction. Are you stupid?
If they're 90 and they can carry an artillery shell, they get to keep it.
Okay, well, no, this was...
They can trade it for an equal whatever.
This was the projectile. I would have guessed it was 100 millimeters in diameter
much
and
do those
5
weigh?
times that long. So it would have weighed 12 pounds. Anyway,
I think if you're 100...
it emptied the airport.
Oh, I bet. I think we should trade them 12 pounds of gold.
Anyway.
Stop it.
How crazy can
Well,
you
when I
be?
first heard it, I was thinking the horror stories. Everyone's heard about the they found a little scatterable
Yeah,
bomblet,
right.
and the bomblets look interesting if you don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And the terror show, and that made sense because that fit in your luggage.
No,
That,
the 40 millimeter grenade warhead is
Yeah.
interesting looking.
and you can toss that up in the air and spin it enough that
That
You
it
might
will
disengage
go
in
off when you
safety.
catch it.
and
Yeah.
yeah. But fuck,
That's been demonstrated.
I know. But it's also right. There's no other way to do the safety right.
No, I
You
can't
get-
imagine.
You get complicated and dumb.
Yeah.
It's not going to like being underwater, and that's the end of that.
Yep.
But no, I can't imagine. I'll just take, like the kind Daffy Duck was hitting in that weird cartoon.
Yeah, right before.
Uh-huh.
All right, so tell us more about the story. So what happened? So they found it where?
No idea.
Oh.
They took it to the airport with them as a souvenir.
Which airport? Oh, in Israel. So yeah, it could be a lot of
Like
places.
Ben Gurion or whatever.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, yeah, everybody else is ducking for cover,
Yeah.
screaming, running out.
Well, goddamn
So-
right you do.
Departure Hall, Ben Gurion International. Anyway, no,
Yikes.
I found it amusing
Right?
that there was some American in the world who didn't look at that and go, "Don't touch that."
So help me.
Yeah,
You're a
you
Florida
tell a
man.
fucking adult, man. Like,
On the other hand, I've got another story, which is I came back from a long day of training at either Grafenwehr or Hohenfels in Germany, right? We parked the carrier, and I walked down to the company area, and I found a dragon in the trash can. And it had obviously been fired, and about 2/3 of its motors had fired, which meant about a third of them were left. And I don't know of any, any inert warhead dragons. Maybe there were,
Yeah.
but I couldn't see any point in it. And you'd want to,
Whether they'd have the motors,
Yeah,
A dummy
I'd want the
round for
dragon.
people to look
I'd
at
want
and
the
stuff.
dragon to explode just to make the electronics go
Yeah.
away.
And like
Anyway,
some safe
it was
rubber
in the
duck version
garbage
wouldn't.
can.
Yeah.
So that means that some U.S. soldier had picked it up and then come back and somebody had said, "Oh my God," put it in the garbage can, which wasn't the
Get
greatest.
rid of that.
EOD, I can tell you that EOD was unimpressed when I called them.
Someone told them to get rid of it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. They were told, right? Because no one who can identify what that is also follows it up with, "Put that in that trash can over there. This will be funny."
Yep.
All right. Bronx Zoo announces birth of a rare tree kangaroo. This sounds fun.
Who the hell's ever heard of a tree kangaroo?
Bullshit.
I have.
This is from Australia, right? This isn't some shit from Scotland or any Scottish people involved.
He was born at the Bronx Zoo.
Right, but it's an Australian
Creature. Okay, and you've heard of them before. You said,
It's native to Papua New Guinea,
Oh,
and
well,
it's
okay.
arboreal. It's a kangaroo, not a monkey.
That's fine.
Okay.
Shit.
I never
gotta
did
kill the
any
roos.
deep research on
Why
them.
do we have to kill the roos?
If they're coming out with new models.
Okay,
They're not coming out. These
they're going
are-
to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, humans.
I have
you
a
better
new bet for
evolve
what's
fast.
taking over. Sorry, dogs, cats. I thought you were gonna make it, but
Yeah.
Cats actually still might. They're getting smarter instead of dumber.
oh no, for sure. Which means I think they're just gonna become
bigger
the
instead of
pets of the
smaller.
kangaroo, the tree kangaroos when
Yeah.
they take over.
And
you
the
go.
spiders, actually.
Yeah.
I bet they'll become spider pets.
Oh, yeah.
Well, a big male one weighs up to 20 pounds. So these are not, you're imagining the red kangaroos, right? Which,
Oh, the 6-foot ones, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll fuck you
I'm
up.
imagining a
Yeah.
tiny Chucky doll, like a regular sized kangaroo shrunk down.
yeah, okay. That's kind of what you're getting.
That fucking bird that always kills
Except it
people
lives
isn't
in
very big
trees.
either. That cassowary or whatever.
Yeah, true.
You underestimate them because they're small, and then it's on you with a tiny bitey
Anyway,
hands.
it's cool. This is the first one that's been born since 2008. Again, at the Bronx Zoo. But this is
Hell
a
yeah.
critically endangered species,
Oh,
and there's a
wonderful.
new one.
Oh, that's good.
And I'd never heard of a tree kangaroo.
To be fair, I watched a lot of the National Geographic Channel when I was a kid. Like,
Okay.
a lot. Like, excessive amount. Like, it was probably unhealthy amounts.
Yep.
But anyway, no, that's really cool. So why is Rand Paul in love with Putin? What is going on here?
Well, just trying to figure it out, because
Yeah.
you've got Rand Paul saying stupid shit like, Ukraine and so on were part of the Soviet Union, and therefore, we should let Russia take them, and so forth and so
Right,
on.
right,
This is
right.
just ridiculous. So, turns out you kind of have to look at his family. So his grandson-in-law was convicted of campaign fraud for crimes he committed during Paul's campaign. Then Paul got Trump to pardon him.
Right.
And again was charged last month with campaign fraud, this time for funneling massive sums of Russian money into the 2016 campaign. So, hard to understand why Rand Paul is in love with
No, yeah.
Putin. So anyway, the 3 weeks after Trump groveled in front of Putin in Helsinki and criticized the U.S., he told me
it's
he
the
didn't
soccer
do
ball.
it, and the whole ridiculous thing. Rand Paul secretly flew to Moscow on Trump's behalf and hand-delivered a private note to Putin, which we don't know what was in it.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Do we have the other private notes and things? I feel like we must.
According to the Presidential Records Act, we should.
Yeah, and we've got all the crazy shit from Nixon and Kissinger.
Yep.
So,
I think they're still trying to get some stuff from Trump, though.
oh no, that's gonna be a black hole.
Well, and to be honest with you, I think he shredded or flushed down the toilet or whatever
Fuck,
he
man,
did with a lot of those documents.
So there have been a lot of folks who've gone over and met with Putin. Shelby, Daines, Hovan, Johnson, Kennedy, Moran,
Yeah.
Thune, Granger. And we've seen failed attempts to put Russian money into campaigns, and I doubt seriously that...
I think the Russians bumped everybody.
Yeah. Well, the NRA sure has less money than they used to.
Loads of them do. All of the,
Yeah.
a lot of the old institutional. I'm not saying some tinfoil hat shit, but No, the influence operation that we know the Russians have conducted would be foolish to do if you weren't also doing the other.
And on top of that, you wonder, well, has it actually caused anything? It's interesting that when Montenegro wanted to join NATO, which requires the agreement of all NATO countries, that it was Rand Paul who blocked the unanimous consent motion in the Senate.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right. No, one of the things, right, they're committing war crimes, so fuck them to the very last of me.
Yes.
But it was a strategic mistake not to redo NATO the day after the Russians fell down. I don't know what you do it as without triggering the New World Order crazy, but it would have been repainting a thing and issuing some new flags. Who fucking cares? Right, it's it's in fact less complicated than a change of command ceremony.
True.
Because they don't own the military parts. It's just the color scheme of the headquarters.
Yep.
But that would have made it easier to have avoided this defense of we're encroaching on the Badada, and we're using a thing that was there to destroy the Soviets, and they're not Soviets anymore, so they're very scared, and they're doing war crimes, so fuck them.
Yes.
They don't get to speak until they speak about that.
Agreed.
That doesn't believe in the right to free speech, and they should therefore have none.
Also
And
true.
if the Ukrainians
Except in the US.
catch any of the 10 Russian soldiers
Yeah.
that are up on charges
Yep.
for war crimes at Bucha, try them publicly and then hang the bastards.
Punish them like outlaws. Kill them however you see fit.
There
Yeah.
you go.
They are outside the protection of the law. That is
And
what
burn
spitting
them
in
at
the
the
face
stake.
of society means, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm
If you
all
no
about
longer enjoy
The
its
rules weren't
protection.
there to protect the bad ones. It was to keep the good ones from going for them in one horrible night.
Yep.
Because that never works out that way. Do not do that, the internet.
it. Yeah. No, that's
The crazy in your
Darn.
group will take over.
Yep. In a bad way. All right. So, accidents at food processing plants sends Republicans into hysterics. What is this
Well,
nonsense?
you remember we talked about it
because we
briefly
saw
last
it?
week. We
We
saw a meme that had to do with
about it. Yeah.
how they were controlling the food supply and so forth and so on.
Oh, that was
all
part
these-
of our new segment of, shit I find on Facebook that's wrong.
yeah, right.
Yes, oh
Well,
my
and we
God.
couldn't figure out why the hell. So anyway, turns out
It's a deregulation push.
it's a standard conspiracy theory, and they spread it exactly the standard way. Is there rumors of trouble in the food supply, then spread from Telegram onto Fox News, and were reported by the Daily Beast, right? So it's the standard, get it into one of the crazy things, and then you can report on it being in the crazy
cover the
thing,
coverage.
etc. Yeah.
And it allows you to downshift if you ever find your room in right where people will laugh at you if you don't know things, to downshift into it rides on the carrier wave of burdensome regulation that we're going to find out if push comes to shove and you scratch them. The reason why we're having the problem getting the protection rate that we want is all of these burdensome safety regulations, when we've also talked about the record number of food mistakes and recalls. So anyway,
Yep. So anyway, Carlson goes, well, industrial accidents happen, but this is a lot of industrial accidents at food processing facilities.
And we
They
found
talked about very suspicious fires.
it's
Just total nonsense. And although the fires and other accidents are described as recent, the first headline cited was from January 2021, and the others were from 2019.
yeah.
So you're sitting there going, guys, there's no excess of industrial accidents. And one of the ones that he highlighted was a plane crash at an Idaho potato plant. A pair of plane crashes. Idaho potato plant and a General Mills plant in Georgia. Although neither incident appeared suspicious, and neither of them caused any damage or disrupted operations at the facility. So again, it's just
No, and some of the stuff, as we had researched previously, was like a deli, right? Like that's not a food processing plant, and these small little things. So some of them are completely unrelated to the thing that they're trying to Hypen is concerned about. So, no, I'm glad you were able to find some more information on what exactly was going on with that, because at the time there wasn't much on it. It was just, oh, this is happening, and I couldn't find any evidence to agree with that at all.
And the freaky, shouty part of the crazy the kind of motherfuckers that find prayer rugs in, like, fucking tomatoes or whatever their crazy is. They're gonna get to do a free round on Somali meatpacking, which lets them make some vaguely racist thing about maybe Black Hawk Down or whatever America's freaking out about. Because some of the meat processing plants have prayer rooms. Because they have they hired large refugee populations out of Somalia and things like that. So they made some of the break rooms, and it wasn't a thing. But, sorry.
For the people of that, persuasion.
No.
Which
I find the way they do these callbacks
Yeah.
not academically interesting or, deeply terrifying on a human level.
But again, they're just, keeping their red meat base all fired up.
Well, and it's all the gumbo
time.
bits they
You
like
think
already.
You think someday they'd figure out they're being played, but we'll see.
No, but this is the, traveling smokescreen they use so they can emerge having pivoted on, holding no ideology.
Yeah.
They can turn 90 degrees a turn.
Yeah.
And we always fall for that because we get set to fight them over here, and then they talk about this thing we don't understand, but because they have this gumbo of insanity and words just floating around.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
None of it makes sense. There's no
It doesn't
rational
need
background to
but it's
any
just got the right pieces in it, and when they grab a piece and go, now it's pinto beans.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Sorry.
That is my favorite picture of Ivanka Trump, though, is the one where she's hocking the beans.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That summarizes her completely.
True. All right. Boomer Rex is about damn time.
Send money and we will place your products.
Good news.
So,
On an airship.
Howard C. Richardson from King of Prussia pleaded guilty in the District of Columbia to assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers and faces a recommended sentence of 37 to 45 months. He's going to be sentenced on August 26th.
Should have brought an artillery shell.
Yeah. Well, one of the ways
I think that's going to be our new callback forever.
one of the ways they tracked him and so forth was that he made day planner entries having to do with the capital entry.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Because why wouldn't he do such a thing?
That he
He's a
parked at
non-committed,
11:30, was in front of the Capitol at 12:15. The gates were breached at 1 p.m., moving up the steps. And at 1:30 to 1:45, got pepper sprayed, carrying a metal flagpole with a blue flag attached.
Oh,
So
that's
anyway,
going to make him
this guy-
super easy to find in the videos.
Yep. He approached an
like.
officer with the Metropolitan Police Department. Can be heard yelling, "Here it comes," before swiftly approaching the officer and striking the officer with the metal flagpole 3 times. He stopped swinging only after the flagpole broke. Must have been a Chinese flagpole.
Aye.
Anyway.
Now you've got a guy with a whole belt full of whoop ass who you just hit with a pole and the pole's not working anymore.
These people are just so dumb.
Yep.
He gave a almost minute by minute account of exactly what he was up
Well,
to.
remember that a lot of others videoed themselves.
Fuck my life.
So,
Why are these people so bad at the crimes?
Don't do crimes, the internet. Do not fucking blog about your goddamn crimes.
And so for any of-
just write us a letter about the book you want to write. We'll help you out. It's
so if
fine.
any of you guys think
I will not
Trump,
help you, the internet.
think Trump has your back, you should be looking at the January 6th folks and realizing Trump just walked away. He doesn't care.
No.
Those are peons.
You've seen Alice in Wonderland. Those
are
are the
little
clams.
people.
I keep telling you,
Those
he's
are the
not.
clams.
He's not going to waste his time writing these people free. It would take him too long to sign his signature that many fucking times. He's not going
Autopen
to
will do it. We've already set precedent.
I
Right.
don't believe he'd do it. But anyway.
I think he has to promise it. I think he's a fool if he doesn't promise. I think any Republican running is a fool, right? If you're just talking about driving the base, right?
I think
Pure ass,
another Republican
Machiavellian.
certainly has the potential of doing it. I don't think Trump cares.
Yeah, but many of these will have spent 2 years in jail before Trump is elected.
That's true.
So
Then they will be unemployable and make a great cadre for the street fighters if that's the route we're going.
no, I'm saying even if you pardon them, they're going to spend a couple of years in prison.
That is unlikely to make them more well-adjusted
Agreed.
and more comfortable with the use of violence in a way the American society is not. We freaked out when one millionaire slapped another, and not that hard.
Right, but what you have to remember is they're going to be getting out eventually anyway. We can't stop that.
No, but we will be able to. They would be able to suddenly have a very dense population of them. Very recently,
Released. Yeah.
Again, I don't want to sound histrionic or Pollyannish about this. No, Pollyanna's the happy one. Chicken Little-ish about this.
So again, hey, Democratic Party, you've got a bunch of disaffected people who aren't disaffected for no reason. Mm-hmm. And you probably ought to find a way to talk to them before they run the country.
Or start forcing the media to start spilling some ink about the kids who chalked up and moved through a crowd like Uncle Sam taught them.
Hey, I'm going to steal a line from Boomer Rex here and say, let's make America work for all Americans again.
Yep. Fuck. You can't... I'm working on a MAGA-ized answer of that. Make America great for all Americans again, but it's too wordy.
Yeah.
Dumbass of the day. Who's our idiot?
Well, this one just struck me as... so we've got a retired New York City police officer charged with assault in the U.S. Capitol riot. And he's being tried by a jury. And he testified last Thursday that he was acting in self-defense when he struck a Washington officer with a flagpole and tackled him.
You know what's odd about that to me? He may not be entirely wrong in his head. Right, that he lives in the same America we do at some level and has seen the videos, the shocking and horrible videos. The ones everyone has to have seen some of those videos and been like, fuck man, there's no way I can benefit, doubt this. Yeah,
this was a police riot. Yes, we have seen some of those.
Or any of the just bad stops where you're like, my friends and I would have done better and we have no advanced training in these sorts of environments. What the fuck are we doing?
So anyway, he testified he drove to Washington to join a peaceful protest. Mm-hmm. And he says, that officer incited me. I felt like I was dealing with a rogue cop. Yep. Well, we'll see. These trials usually last about 4 days. Yeah. And so far, everybody who's gone to a jury has been convicted.
No, but if he had seen that video of the Baltimore cop, or the Buffalo cop, the one who knocks down the old man.
Mm. Oh, yeah. No, that was fucked up.
And spits on him.
Aye.
And then tells everybody else to leave him alone.
And was then found not whatever. So, but if that guy looked like someone in his video, oh man, if we're going to talk about that, I still want to give mad props to that Navy kid. Just taking the collapsible baton across the shoulder blades, which is in counter use of how one uses a collapsible baton. Yep. And the officer should be charged for replacing that, because that's how you break them, asshole. And there aren't enough for all the kids, but...
All right. No, this is... ridiculous. Okay, let's move on. Who has resumed contributions to GOP election?
Yeah, well, I thought they should get their. I thought they should get their names read out.
Fuck your family company.
Oh, that's my favorite. I'm so proud of that line.
Home Depot and Deere and Company have donated more than $800,000 last month to Republicans who voted to overturn the 2020 election.
I'm glad I bought a Kabuto tractor instead of a John Deere back in the day.
Just in March, the home improvement retailer gave $95,000 to 20 House Republicans who voted to overturn the election. Deere tossed $75,000 more to a dozen Republicans, and aerospace giant Boeing donated $45,000.
They know which side their autocracy is buttered
on. Yeah. But again, we should probably talk about all the other ones that are, donating to folks who voted to overturn the election. And so that list includes General Dynamics, Motorola Solutions, FedEx, Tyson Foods.
No, not Motorola.
These are the good ones or more bad ones? No. I missed the transition.
And anyway, 15 House Republicans who voted against the certification of the 2020 election raked in more than $800,000 from corporate and trade groups.
How many?
What?
How many?
800,000.
No. How many Republicans got that money? X number raked in total.
That's, yeah. So say 32.
Cool.
Um,
No, this is crazy.
Yep.
That bought them 2.5 days of not having to dial for dollars or anything else. That funded their campaign efforts for 2 days. Or fundraising efforts for 2 days, solid.
Yep.
So.
Anyway, I thought it was important that we say the names.
Yeah.
What was the Motorola? Which part of Motorola was it again?
Motorola Solutions.
Solutions, is that separate from Motorola cell phone company?
I doubt it. But
No.
this is the problem with all of them.
No, because I always buy my cell phones from Motorola, and if this is the case, I can't give money to Motorola anymore without feeling... No, I can't. I just can't talk myself into it. So I need to find out if they are separate. Hear that, Motorola? If you fucked this up, you might have lost a customer, and I've bought a lot of phones from you.
I would have assumed Motorola Solutions was the top level.
Yeah, they make murder radios.
Oh, so it's not it's a division.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the secure side of business and whatever solutions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not the cell phone.
I mean,
people.
it's all the same. Money's fungible. If the Blunt Act, which doesn't allow us to fund things that could fund abortion, or that would free up money that could then fund abortion, then no, you probably can't.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it and figure it out, but that's going to make me very, very mad, and I might have to send a nasty email. All right. Top Russian general in Ukraine last week.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
General Valery Gerasimov, the chief of staff of the Russian military, was in Ukraine last week. We know he was in Donbass. We don't know if he's still there.
Which war criminal is this?
Valery Gerasimov.
We need a new deck of cards.
He's the chief of staff for the Russian military. He's a top guy.
I hope you get thrown out. I hope fucking kids get thrown out a window.
First
Shit.
and foremost, top guy don't go to a battlefront unless things are totally fucked up.
Right? How about they gotta be?
Right? So,
Hey, this is Sync where?
this is Sink Russia.
So this is the Secretary of the Army.
He's the highest military. There's also a Secretary of Defense.
Sure, and if he's there, I assume the government has fallen and he's just running to new friendly lines. But the top military, that is like our Secretary of Defense, correct? Or
No.
Secretary of the Army?
It would be, no. It would
Chairman
be
of the
like
Joint
sending our Chairman of the Joint Chiefs.
How
Yeah,
fucked
that's
are
a
you?
big
That
fucking
level
deal.
old man needs to come down and go.
Anyway, we declined to say how we knew he was there. And it's more interesting now because there were vague reports that he was injured while in Ukraine.
I hope they turned his Joy Department into fun
We
betting.
now know that he visited a headquarters which was later utterly destroyed, and that at least one general died. So, but we don't know which one.
Is Ukraine a signatory of the Geneva Convention? Then they could use frangible rounds and shoot people in the lower waist area
Mm-hmm.
and hit enough blood vessels to bleed out, but first they tore your cock off. No, fuck them.
Anyway,
No
so we'll
border,
see.
motherfucker.
So I don't know that we know that this guy is still alive, but there is a report that at least a general died in that headquarters that he visited.
Good.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
There would have been lots of subordinate generals running around loose.
Good.
You don't get the military head of your army to visit without having all kinds of other
Right.
hangers on with stars.
Oh, for sure.
They travel in packs.
Oh, God. Fucking ridiculous.
I
maybe
turned
golden.
around once. I was giving a class, and I turned around, and there were 7 stars on the 3 people standing behind me.
I have a story like that coming off one of the Marine Corps' motivational fucking rampies, jumpies. And going down the slide thing, and it's all done, and I run into Recruit Toy, and he turns around and he bumps somebody and he shoves. He's like, "Move, motherfucker!" Commandant of the United States Marine Corps.
Oh.
Come down to see. And we're both like, well, it was fucking nice being alive. We were like little wee baby tadpoles for about 6 minutes, and then they just shot us in the face. He's like, that's fucking right. I should get the fuck out of your way. You have shit to do. Go. And like, goddamn, yes. That's how you make a death cult
That's
work.
leadership.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that.
That's how you run a proper death cult.
Fair. All right, do you got more on that, or shall we move?
No. I think that may be a developing story.
Okay,
We'll see.
we'll keep an eye on this.
So
okay.
remember his name, Valery Gerasimov.
Also that these should be considered demonstrations or isolated acts of violence. Because then they are not covered by the Geneva Convention, and the Ukrainians can use weird bullets to blow Russian cocks off. Fuck these Russians. Get back on your side of the fucking imaginary line.
Okay, Biden muses over forgiving some student debt as GOP rushes to stop him.
If you're gonna get hit for
Get
doing
hit
something
for
right.
doing something good. Well, first we got to get old half-step Biden to start talking about
Like he
actually
wants to be
canceling
president for a
some
second
student
term,
debt.
like he doesn't want to
They
demonstrate.
keep getting tangled up.
I don't know how he's going to run a second term. I really don't.
Slowly.
Anyway, they keep getting tangled up in means testing.
And now we always
Right,
do.
so if you've got a high
we
salary...
can just tax them back at the end. Sorry,
Oh.
if that was your thrust.
But hey, Democratic Party, go tell old half-step Joe
And his buddy
to
Joe
get off
Manchin.
his fucking ass and do something that the American people, first of all, want, and second, that will do the country some good.
Well, yeah, because again, even if it doesn't go through, you could say the Republicans aren't working with us, and I was trying to do this really good thing, and that is not a bad way for other Democrats to be able to run and say, let me help Biden get this stuff done in the upcoming elections. The
And if you're
midterms.
seriously interested in means testing, then what you ought to recognize is you're asking the wrong question. You should be asking the broader question, which is, what has happened to American society that a family has to take on unpayable debt to get a college degree? Right? What
Yeah.
the hell have you let
Well-
happen? Hey, Democrats, America's got to work for every American.
Well, and can I
Stop this shit.
say the worst part is that a lot of these, degrees and stuff that people are getting, are useless. I have a friend who works the same jobs I work and has $20,000 in student debt, and she doesn't make more money
It's
than I
worse than
do.
that. So we've talked before about a lot of why like millennials have given up on the idea of a house and 3.5 whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
And a dog.
That they're taking on car debt because the car is the only thing they're really going to have, right? I think you and I have talked. I know we've talked privately, but I'm pretty sure we've mentioned on the show that Successful Aerospace did that as a way to modulate absurd home pricing in other areas. But those were successful kids who were going to be okay. This wasn't fucking up their retirement. This wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, these are kids taking on $50,000-$60,000 loans to buy cars when they have no future. They're never going to retire. They may as well drive to
And
work.
what the hell did you need a $50,000 car for?
Because if you're going to spend that much time in your car trying to do a thing, and plus if you have a nice new car, you can, if this fucks up, you can go to the gig economy and maybe you can slap an Amazon logo on the side and be that last mile shit that has to pee in cups and whatever it is Amazon will fire you for saying today.
So, anyway.
Union.
Absolutely.
It's the only way to
Union.
get quality work out of Americans. That's why all the things we've ever built that mattered had them. The rude thing I wanted to say earlier, because I'm an asshole like that and like to do rude callbacks, even if I don't say them out loud, is Joe Biden. Sometimes when you act like this, America remembers why she said no thank you in 2 presidential elections previously.
Uh-huh.
So I'm glad you didn't hit a strike 3, except I'm going to be really things if you fucking balled it and then got offered. I should really stop making sports, right?
Yeah, true.
I don't do
Yeah.
sports.
No, let's not.
I want a motorcycle.
Okay, conservatives target Earth-friendly pension funds. What the hell is
This
this?
is-
Well,
tit for
you
tat for
recall how Republicans are all against, burdensome regulations and so forth.
Mhm.
But ALEC is busily crafting
Yep.
legislation that
Yeah.
would punish the investment vehicles, mutual funds and so forth,
Yep.
that are supporting companies that are using that investment money to get people to look at the environment and wages and all the rest of that. So, this latest attempt has donned the guise of protecting public pension funds from liberal social activists.
But not Republican
What's
crazies.
the illegal thing?
It's designed to protect large oil and gas industries.
This is due to the bank, when we were talking about regulating the investment companies, right, being aware of their carbon footprint and their investments and stuff.
Right.
So they're doing a fucking bizarro world mirror universe answer to that. What's the Israeli sanction, divest, whatever thing you're not allowed to say out loud in Texas, or they'll come burn your house down? The Texans, because
that was...
It's the same limiting, right? The party's so enamored of the word freedom, deciding what you can and can't do with your money.
Right.
And it's just...
And deciding what women can and can't do with their bodies, and deciding what gay people can and can't do.
We're coming back.
Let's talk
We're coming
about
back to
It's
that
gonna get
tomorrow.
No.
I don't think you're gonna keep her quiet.
No, no. This is not sitting. Okay.
Okay.
But for now, let's move on to updates with Boomer Rex.
That redhead will pull over.
Tell me about health threats.
Okay. So this one was actually interesting. We have a case of H5N1, which is the dangerous.
Did we ever find out which one your vaccinations help with?
I looked and don't remember.
Okay, so
I think H5N1 is the one I'm...
Go monkeypox.
That I have potentially some immunity to. Anyway, it's not of any consequence. This was a prisoner who was working in the euthanasia of the millions of chickens and whatever.
Yeah, so an exposure rate off
just
the chart.
They had protective gear. They were just immersed in it.
Yeah.
There are a number of others who worked on the same team who have been tested and found not to be infected. So, clearly, the H5N1 that the chickens have is not easily transmissible to people.
Thank goodness.
And there's no evidence at all it's transmissible from person to person.
Or not. I'm not your virus supervisor of the internet.
Anyway, he has since recovered. He was treated with oseltamivir, an antiviral influenza medication. Which is marketed under Tamiflu. That one I can say.
And no.
Yeah. So the virus was detected on a single nasal specimen and could have been present in the patient's nose without causing infection.
Yeah.
So that's all.
So this was all, sounds like an abundance of caution.
Yeah.
But it also means make sure your chicken is fully cooked.
This is how you get your fingers on a ball of a real getting away zoonotical virus.
Yeah.
That has made the jump.
Mm-hmm.
When the other choices are going to be no airplanes will fly because no one will be flying.
Okay, so I want y'all to remember,
Doesn't mean the planes won't
chicken
fly,
you used to be able to cook to 150 to 155. They have changed those numbers.
To what?
Recently, you want to cook your chicken to 160 to 165. Closer to 165, the better. So basically what I'm telling you is when you're cooking chicken, put water in the bottom of the pan so it doesn't dry out on you, and watch the temperature. Make sure you get it up to that 165, and then pull it or it will go dry. But yeah, those are new rules that I had learned when I was still, because I remember back in the day it was always 150, 155. Now, it's they put it up to 165 several years ago.
Pigeon more than a portmanteau.
But anyway, so just so people know where that's at. Let's move on to climate weirding. Ooh, we got some new news.
So, well, it looks like India is working up to be in a little test case for heat waves. And, it has a humid climate. It's having heat waves, massive increases in electrical usage. But then again, not everybody's got an air conditioner. So India may be one of the very early places to see that when it gets to 95 degrees, wet bulb. And if you don't know what that is, Google it.
It's going to be important to you,
that
like
people,
your kids.
Yeah. That's a temperature at which people will not survive if they are continuously
stay outside.
exposed. Yeah.
Yep. Which means India will have to invest in cooling centers and a bunch of other things.
Hey, you want to hear my Kristen Cinema joke?
Sure.
This is actually from the correspondence dinner.
I like that though.
So one of them gets up and he goes,
We should watch that.
I'm not doing this just for attention, all right? I mean, I'm a comedian, not Christian cinema.
Ah, that's wonderful.
He says, by the way, you got to give it up for Christian cinema. Whoever thought we'd see the day in American politics when a senator could be openly bisexual but closeted Republican?
Ha!
That's progress.
That's funny.
Fuck yeah. Nope. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is
Target.
two things. One, the power of comedy. And two, why fascists always shoot clowns.
Yeah.
Because they cannot be laughed at.
Nope.
Yep.
It's the only thing that can save good people in the face of true fucking evil.
No, and I think
And
that's
guns.
why the correspondence dinner is very important to America as a whole. First of all, everybody can watch and enjoy. Second of all, like you said, it shows humility to not just Americans in the president and other people present, but also to the world, right? That we can laugh at ourselves a little bit, and
Yes.
that's okay.
Yep.
No, this is us at our best.
Yep.
This is like when teams of people are having fun and talking shit.
I love the correspondence dinner. We should definitely watch it.
Yeah.
I
You
didn't
should.
realize I had missed it. I'm sad now.
All right.
Fish that won't grouse won't.
So that's
fucking
my
burp.
updates.
Okay, so real quick, I want to say that normally we do just the news, but this is important
news.
news to me, so I do want to discuss it a little bit. So we've been trying to reach out to Republicans to try to get people to think more, so we've been trying to be nicer about that thing. So if you're a Christian Republican, I need you to go away for now. Okay, turn this off. I need you to step.
This part's not for you.
So
We're just
okay.
gonna talk about
I
a
gotta
bunch of
give
new
you
words for
3
pronouns.
seconds. Okay. Go. Cool. You're gone. If you're still there, go away. All right. I think they're gone.
What's the name?
So now all of us
LGBTQ was
wonderful liberal people,
Okay.
I got something I need to say. Fuck all pro-lifers everywhere. All y'all. You can all die tomorrow, and I will be a happier person for it. I'm not wishing death upon anyone. I'm just saying that the world would be a better place without you. However, God or whatever you believe in happens to make that happen is a wonderful thing in my eyes. Okay? Fuck this shit. So what I'm talking about is the Supreme Court today just struck down Roe v. Wade.
No, but the opinion's out unless there's something past that. This
Right.
is
It
Politico
appears they
publishing
are
draft.
right.
So I don't know if Roberts is worried about the Republican welfare drying up. Because I don't know how a person who's babbled pretendedly about caring about the independent appearance of the court is going to. I know they're going to
Okay.
spike it on states' rights, and we've got some holes on that argument. But the realities of this are going to be bad.
But they have a Republican writing what purports to be a majority opinion.
Yeah,
That would strike down Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, that would return it to the states.
It would
and
also, with a minor change of words, strike down gay marriage, privacy, and would allow states to legislate that you can't buy contraceptives in the state.
and several of the Plan Bs and others.
Yeah.
It would also outlaw all abortions in Oklahoma and several other states. Period. Dot. Like that goes into effect automatically upon Roe's being struck ever.
Yep.
So, every woman of childbearing age and every man who loves a woman of childbearing age, or a woman coming into childbearing age, or, a woman in general, should be concerned about this aggressively.
Or your 15-year-old daughter.
That's why I said coming into.
Yes.
A 15-year-old already has had her period.
Women leave.
Could have gotten pregnant at 12.
Yep.
Most women by the
Okay.
age of 12 have their period and can get pregnant.
That number is dropping in several Western states. Right. Precocious puberty is on the rise in some interesting places.
Well, and the weirdest thing is there was a trend where it was getting pushed back. I believe in my time there were some
I'd have to look.
ladies that
I
I
don't
was
know.
that I knew that had been getting their periods at like 13. So I started mine at 11.
The study I saw was a while back, but was newer than that.
Do you remember any of the states?
That's what I'm.
Okay.
That automatically outlaw? Yes. This? No.
Yeah.
But it's all the standard, right? Heavy extraction and processing facility. So high meat stuff. It's all. So I'll look it up while we're talking, but we're not getting detracted in the fucking weeds about.
Yeah, fine.
No, and I don't
This
want
is no longer the posturing of they could, they might, if this is what they're going to come, if this is their final
If they're
answer.
doing this, they've
it's
shot
over.
a hostage.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into great detail this evening because I do this was literally dropped on me by Boomer Rex
Before we walked out.
walking into the room saying Roe versus Wade was struck down with absolutely no other details, no other whatever. So all I knew in that moment was
So
the
if I
world is ending.
misreported,
The
we'll
world
correct
is
it
ending.
tomorrow night.
But I've also found it in several places that Politico appears to have this draft. They talk about how it'd be a huge breach of thing, which always makes me, right, suspect that Roberts is burnishing up. He's the T-800 of the fucking Federalist Society. He is a brilliant literary mind bent to an evil task. But he does it in a way, it's like the pre-Debate Me Bros, where he is very good at appearing very somber and feeling very bad about what is inevitably going to happen. But he was going to enable it. Right, little glowy-eyed bastard.
so.
Yep.
All I'm gonna, I'm gonna leave it at this tonight. This is not something that we can speak of lightly anymore. This is an attack against women everywhere.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract you.
So
Here, distract me.
what I need everybody to understand
But that makes perfect
is,
sense.
it is so important to get out there and vote a Democratic ticket
Went away.
on these midterms. Vote Democrat,
Top
okay?
one.
And if there happens to be some sort of unicorn Republican out there who's all for women's rights,
They should start making themselves
then
loud.
they need to speak up now.
Yeah. Susan Collins should be questioned about this because she was literally asked this question. And I have no question where Kavanaugh is going to fall on this majority, if it's a majority vote.
If you are not scared for yourself or for your family who are women of the childbearing age, you should be. This is not good. This is not safe. This is going to cause deaths, suicides,
Amongst girls,
illnesses. This is an attack against being a woman or being someone who menstruates.
Yeah.
That's what this is
isn't gonna
against
work up
all
to
of
owning the
us.
libs.
We need to come at this with very serious and very critical eyes because this is not okay. When we are moving into when we are moving into a world where a corpse has more bodily autonomy than a woman, and that is accepted, and that is okay, that is a
1800s America.
problem. A big one. So women and menstruating people out there, what I want you to do is remember that if you don't want to be told that you should be barefoot, naked in the kitchen again, you need to stand up and say, hell fucking no.
Yep.
Keep your hands out my uterus.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Democrats, here's one of your issues. Play it.
We need America to work for all Americans again, and women are part of that. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave it at
I didn't know
that.
women were people.
This is this is why we
Oh, wait,
chain
I'm sorry.
you to the wall.
I had a Republican moment there.
I love that. Okay.
I channeled any one
Channeled
of a number
Trump.
of modern.
The same ideology that allowed Marjorie Taylor Greene to say that she doesn't support welfare because women ought to be married.
Right. Absolutely.
If you can make someone dependent, you can. No, it's
Yeah.
all bad all the way.
It's
down.
a whole control thing.
So this
Barefoot,
is
pregnant, in the
obviously
kitchen.
a developing story. We will keep a very sharp eye on it, and if this plays out the way I think it's going to, we will let you know which states that you women
Should
and you
leave.
people who love women need to
Move to.
get away from or move to. So we will tell you the safe states, we will tell you the bad states, we will keep you informed, up to date on every
think-
change we get in this, because this is
So I wanna-
truly the end of women having any sort of ability to make decisions for ourselves, health and otherwise.
I would like us to have a longer discussion on the actual question of tactical, like, voting and residency, because I believe we can. Right, the Democrats can hold the census, assuming we do another census.
Yeah.
That moving is the better answer because it will reduce representation.
Yeah. Get out of the damned red states.
And like the left should be looking at passing laws that says that the citizenship of inmates remains property of the state in which they were incarcerated from, not in which they are incarcerated.
Okay.
Or do a there's probably a 10-penny argument for absent representation something.
Yep.
All right, so we love you all. I'm probably going to curl up in the bed and cry for a while, as I did the night that Trump won.
Yeah.
So we love you all, and we will, as I said, keep you informed of where it is safe to live in this country. And in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we love you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. We'll see you back here tomorrow night on Boomer Rex Tonight.
And you guys might just want to take a beat.
Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review. Go to BoomerRexTonight with Spaces on Facebook for fun memes and a link to our Patreon. Give us $1. You can find us on YouTube at BoomerRex, or check your favorite podcasting service with BoomerRexTonight. We can be found on over a dozen podcasts, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts,
God,
Google
you're getting good
Podcasts,
at that.
iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. And hit us up on Twitter at BRexTonight. Bye!
Your mileage may vary, not compatible with other options. Some participating franchises only. Not responsible for any
Serious
dark leakage.
complications have occurred.
Yeah.
Do not use
taken as a real
Boomer Rex
offer.
while
Deny.
driving.
We are not your whatever supervisor. And you should take a moment tonight and think about how the air feels and everything else. Because if it turns out this really is the night that Roe died, you might want to remember that and tell people what it felt like. Somebody might ask you what that felt like one day and what you did in response. That's mine. Good night.
Okay.
That's all I got. I'm not supposed to touch the buttons, the internet.
Bye!